Hi everybody, how are we all doing? I hope we're having a good week so far. So today is Wednesday, 29th of June 2016, and I'm here to talk about the Ultimate Edition, extended cut, whatever you want to call it, of Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. It was released yesterday in America on digital HD. Yes, I have been able to watch it. But no, seriously, I've watched it, and why the hell did they not allow this version to be released in the cinemas back in March? Why did Warner Brothers have to make Zack edit it, cut out 30 minutes of footage for everything to just seem so muddled up? It got people confused. This version, forget the theatrical version, forget that one. This is the version that everybody needs to see, because the story is so much well thought out. The plot is more understandable. We now know, even though we did get an idea that in the theatrical version, Lex was behind framing Superman, we actually look as to how he does that. And we even find out Jenna Malone's character, she is involved, she's helping Lois identify the metal that is used for the bullets that that the military, Lex and Lex's security guys are using in Africa, and not only that, also in the wheelchair that he gives to Scoot McNairy's character Wallace O'Keefe, that we find that the metal was actually lined with lead. So even if Superman wanted to see what was in that wheelchair, he couldn't. There was no way he could have seen the bomb. And the other interesting thing is we do see more of Superman. We see more of all the characters. But we see more of Superman in that when that explosion happens at the Washington Capitol, we see him bringing out survivors. But at the same time, you see this really sad look about him, because he sees all these dead bodies in front of him, realizing that yes, he could have prevented that. But even if he looked, he would not have seen the bomb in the wheelchair. And that's when he disappears. So that basically was for him a way to just gather his thoughts, try and understand his place in this in this world. Why is he really here? Is he here to save humanity? Is he here to do good? Is he here for this, that, and the other? That's what he needs. That's what he was gathering his thoughts about. And you do get more of a sense of, I would like to say that he's lost in a way. Yes, he's got Lois there with him, but, we see the scene of where he meets Jonathan Kent again, and that kind of, not necessarily brings him back down to earth, essentially, but gives him that little sense of hope. When his dad says that the nightmare stopped when he met his mother, this, that, and the other, and she became his world, and Lois is essentially Clark Kent's world as well. So yeah, it was really good to see that side and to see the extendedness of that. How he has to deal with the fact that he could have prevented the bomb going off, but regardless of that, he wouldn't have seen it. But seeing all those dead bodies really, really got to him, and it just, made him questioned his validity in the world as to why is he here. On the other side of that, we got to see Clark Kent doing investigative reporting, and also Lois Lane as well. They're both out there. They're both chasing the stories, both trying to get answers. Superman's chasing, Clark Kent's chasing answers about the Batman. We've got Lois chasing after Lex. It's good to see them both working in that sense, and one's going one way, the other's going the other way, and they're not both working together. Whereas we've seen in the comics and stuff where they get pitted against each other. Lois is always saying, it's all right, Smallville, I've got this, and but how Clark is always like, right, okay, I'll let you have this one, Lois, because hey, I'm Superman. But it's that good interaction between them. We see an extended scene with them in their flat as well, in their apartment, back in the desert in Africa. Jimmy Olsen, many of you will have known this, is actually, yes, he is a CIA agent, but I don't think Jimmy Olsen is the Jimmy Olsen. It's not the Jimmy Olsen. It was just an alias that they used for the agent. Okay, so hardcore Superman fans, let's all chill out, because even I knew at the same time. I know Zack Snyder said in an interview that he wanted to have fun with with the character of Jimmy Olsen, and by killing him in the film, that was his way of saying, yeah, we've used him, job done. But let's look at it on the other side. This isn't the Jimmy Olsen. They can now actually turn around and say that wasn't the real Jimmy Olsen, because, well, he works for the CIA. They used Lois Lane to get to the warlord that they were going after. So and seeing how the like Anatoly Knyzev and his guys, all tried to make out that Superman was the one that burnt the village down. I mean, they even piled the dead bodies up and burnt them. I mean, you burnt the bodies. That's how it made out that Superman did all that he killed those people. What else do we have? The fight scenes between Superman and Batman, slight extension to it, nothing really major, and obviously the big fight scene with Doomsday, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. Again, a little bit of an extension, but nothing to get too excited about. We got extension scenes from Wonder Woman visiting the museum, where she was shown the sword of Alexander the Great. Because in the theatrical version, we just see her there, and then they show her the sword, and that's it. Whereas this time, we actually get a good, introduction, essentially. The apocalypse dream that Batman has, again, slightly extended as well. But honestly, seriously, overall, this is so much better. This Ultimate Edition is so much better. This is the one they should have released in the cinemas. They should not have done what they did. 3 hours. It's 3 hours and 2 minutes long. I've sat through Titanic. I have sat through Avatar. I have sat through all the Lord of the Rings extended edition movies. I wasn't bored. So why would Warner's think, oh, well, if we play the 3 hours of this movie, everyone's going to think it was too long? It didn't actually feel like 3 hours when I was watching it last night, to be perfectly honest with you. It did not feel like 3 hours. Why? Because the story actually flowed. There were no disjointed, editing. Like, suddenly we cut to one scene and it's like, what happened? Why are we suddenly over here? It flowed, basically. It had a nice fluid movement to it. It didn't divert to places that you suddenly thought, whoa, okay, why are we here all of a sudden? It was great. It was great. So if you haven't seen it, please do see it. And if you have seen it, let me know what you thought of it. Because, like I say, for me, definitely better than what we saw at the cinema. I hope that Warner's decide to do a re-release and bring this version out in the cinemas at some point. Maybe later on this year. I mean, they did it for, wasn't it The Dark Knight Rises back in 2012? Where they did release re-release The Dark Knight Rises like later on in the year, something like November, December of 2012. So if they do the same for Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, I'm all for it. So yeah, please. I know it's out in America on HD or at digital HD. That was out yesterday. We get it next month, then we get the Blu-ray in August. America will get the Blu-ray in July. So we're having to wait a bit longer. But never mind. If you know where to get it and watch it, and you'll see how awesome it really is. Other bits and pieces I want to mention. I know in the last video I talked about, I didn't mention a certain Superman appearing in Supergirl for season 2, and it's none other than Teen Wolf's Tyler Hoechlin, who's going to be playing the iconic role of the character. So far, he's only going to be in 2 episodes. I think the first 2 episodes. I really, really can't wait to see what his costume looks like. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. And also, Brandon Routh has said that he would be interested in meeting Tyler if eventually they cross over with, obviously, Supergirl and Legends of Tomorrow. Because we know in December they're going to be crossover with all 4 shows. Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, and Legends of Tomorrow are all going to cross over in December. So that's going to be awesome. But maybe one day, sometime down the line, if they do another crossover across all four shows, I'm hoping that, if Brandon gets to meet Tyler, Atom meets Superman, Brandon Ralph looking at Tyler and thinking, where have I seen that suit before? Something along those lines. That would be very interesting. But no, seriously, it would be really good to see them both meet each other at some point. Just how kind of weird will that be? It would be really weird. I look forward to that, but who knows? We'll see how it plays out. We will see how it plays out. Also, obviously, we've got Suicide Squad coming out in just over a month away. We're just over a month away. San Diego Comic-Con, Warner Brothers Television have basically given everybody reason to just go completely potty, because they are going to be bringing no less than a record of 21 TV shows to Comic-Con next month. 21 TV shows, including Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, and of course, Legends of Tomorrow. iZombie's in there as well. Lucifer will be in there as well. Gotham at the same time, in a sense, because obviously Gotham's going to be on, even though it's still effectively Warner Brothers, but it's on Fox. But I think Gotham will be making a presence in some capacity. It's weird. 21 TV shows. I'm just waiting for the movie side of things to be announced, because I want to see, hopefully, the final trailer for Suicide Squad. Teasers for Justice League, especially with the description of that scene between Bruce Wayne and Barry Allen. If they tease that, or if they show that in some capacity, that would be awesome. Even if it doesn't get released online, if a leaked version of it goes online, I'm happy with that. Hopefully we'll get a trailer for Wonder Woman as well, because obviously that movie comes out next year in June, so I'm sure we'll hopefully get a trailer for it, the first proper trailer for it, which I think should happen next month. I think will happen. And bits, teasers for Green Lantern, Cyborg, Flash, Shazam, whatever. Just give us something. But yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to San Diego Comic-Con, so it'll be awesome. I'm trying to think what else is there. There's not much else. Not much else to say. A little side note, we went to see Independence Day Resurgence last week, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it. I liked how it did expand the universe, and the third one, they're taking the fight to the aliens. I can't wait to see how that pans out. But to see that the universe has now expanded is great. I really enjoyed the first one. Trivia for you, Independence Day is my most all-time favourite movie and the most watched film ever for me. I'm not even going to say how many times I've watched it, but it's well over 2,000 now. But no, seriously, I really enjoyed it. I know it's not doing well in terms of money making, box office returns, but these are the times that we live in, especially when it's released a week after Finding Dory. What were you hoping for against Finding Dory, to be perfectly honest? So yeah, but I'm really looking forward to seeing the third one when that gets released. I'm hoping in the next couple of years or something that will happen. But yeah, other than that, not much else to say. If I have forgotten anything, I do apologise. You might see it in the description below. But thank you all very much for watching. And as I say, go and watch Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice Ultimate Edition. Forget the theatrical. Pretend like it never happened. Ultimate Edition is where it's at. Okay, thank you all very much. Bye.